Hi, I'm Heather from Willow's Bend Therapeutic Massage, and today we're going to look at frequencies. Frequencies are super important in our life. In fact, we had James Love up here talking about how emotion is based off from the music in your life. Can you go to the next screen? Now, you see something like this. You're expecting to hear this nice love music, right? I mean, it's right near Valentine's Day and everything. So what happens when you have music such as this? This doesn't sound like it fits this. It gives the wrong sort of emotion to everything. We all think that there's something scary going to happen with this movie. We don't know that it's a love movie.
That woman's fixing to stab him in the back.
Well, yeah, we don't want her stabbing him in the back or vice versa, you know. But the thing is, though, with music, with frequencies, everything is a little bit different for each individual movie, for each individual emotion. So we have to look at music as being one thing, but also frequency. What's the pitch? What is everything? Can I have the next slide, please? Now, because we're going to get into quantum physics and physics, do not worry, we are not going to be solving this problem today. So don't panic. Next slide. And as I said, well, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy cannot be wrong. They always tell everyone, do not panic. Frequency stuff is not scary stuff. It's actually quite fun. Next slide. Now, a lot of you have had frequencies in your life. If we look at this bottom picture, this is an EKG. We're pretty familiar with these. We see them pretty commonly. You know, you go into your doctor, they run the EKG on you, and they're looking for how the wave comes up. Now, the wave is going to denote if you have heart problems, where the heart problem is, how the heart is beating. We also already know about radio frequencies. James Love also produced our music today, which was great because he showed Bluetooth technology. It's a wave. It gets from point A to point B so that we can hear the sound coming out, hearing the lovely music. But things that we don't know really too much about is something like Galloping Gertie. Can you pull up that video for me? Sorry for the technical difficulties because my video doesn't want to play. I do advise that you check out this video because it's really cool. Galloping Gertie, she was a bridge that was located in Tacoma. She actually, as you can see by that spectacular picture of her, she fell down. The reason why she fell down was because of the mere fact that frequencies would be developed with the wind whistling through her. And it actually made the bridge look like jello. It would start what they call oscillating. It started moving. Now steel, as we all know, steel doesn't move. It's supposed to be pretty sturdy. But because of how the frequencies affected her, she started moving so much that this was the ultimate thing that happened with her. So definitely do a quick search on YouTube for Galloping Gertie, and you will see some really awesome videos. Next slide. Now, some things that we don't equate with frequencies are things like color. In order for me to know that you have a blue shirt on, as we can see here, it needs to vibrate at a certain frequency. Otherwise, that shirt wouldn't be blue for me. Everything is in a state of vibration. Now you can go home and say, hey, I did physics today. So you should be all proud of yourself because you know now that physics deals with color. It deals with whether or not you have a solid, a liquid, or a gas, because how the frequency is. For this table, it vibrates at a certain frequency. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to push on it. It also changes temperature. Things that are hot, everything is vibrating at a really fast speed. If it's cold, well, it's vibrating a lot slower. So we live in a land of frequency. But how does this affect you in your life, in business? Now, this is where this comes in, because the frequency of fear is 19 megahertz, or 19 hertz rather. 19 hertz, you can hear it, but did you know that a lion roars at 17 hertz to scare its prey so that it doesn't have to fight as hard to get that meal? Pretty impressive, right? So if you're the animal that's getting scared to death by the lion, there's where fear sets in. But if we look at the frequency of faith, just having faith in yourself and God, that raises your frequency considerably. So if you think about the last time you sat there and had that negative self-talk to yourself, oh, I'm horrible, I can't do anything right, it's going to bring you all down. And that's where the frequency of fear sets in. Because you fear the unknown, you're fearing what you might be able to do. But if you have a little bit of faith, you raise your frequency up. You'll be able to sit there and say, I got this. Now, the frequency of health for every single person is 62 to 78 megahertz. So when you fall below this particular frequency level, what ends up happening is, well, we get into a state of dis-ease, or as doctors usually call it, disease. We're not vibrating at the right frequency, so therefore something's going to go wrong. Now, we just talked about the frequency of just how you feel emotionally, but did you know that it also affects your organs? It affects your entire body. Try it sometime. Just do that negative self-talk. Tell yourself how horrible you feel and just feel how it feels within your body. Then change up the talk. Say how awesome you are, because I know y'all are awesome. So you need to all be telling yourself you're awesome in every single job that you do. And this is going to also bring forth another feeling, another sensation. Now, if you do have time, I would recommend watching this particular video from Jen Sincero. Jen Sincero is an author. She has been writing for a while, and this video is actually from 10 years ago. She told about how she sold her house because she decided that she was going to travel around the world and she didn't need the house anymore. She was just going to go out and travel the world. The day her house sold, she went, oh my God, what am I doing? And she went back to her mom's house, kind of went, oh dear God, I just did the craziest thing in my life. But she stopped listening to that fearful voice that was sitting on her shoulder. She started saying, hey, you know what, I did this for a reason. Now, she's traveling around, talking to audiences, letting them know, hey, you can do it too. So she is a really great author. I would suggest that you all take time to watch this video. Now, how can we alter our frequencies? Well, we already talked about talking nicely to ourselves. Do y'all talk nicely to yourself? I hope so. Because this is one of the easiest ways to actually raise your frequency. You also should be eating good food. I realize the chocolate cake is awesome. However, everything in moderation, because that can also affect your frequency if you indulge on chocolate cake every single day and that's all you eat. Generally speaking, you start getting into that state of dis-ease, and then folks like Desi, she's going to have her work cut out for her when she tries to teach you how to actually exercise and you can't physically do it. And exercise also helps raise your frequency. Because of the mere fact that you're moving, you're doing things that your body can actually get into. And a lot of times we're doing it to music and starting to feel a lot better about ourselves, and it helps our bodies recover from things. Now, other things, items that I have out on the table are other things external to ourselves that we can actually utilize. Some of you were in here when I actually was utilizing my singing bowl. This creates a frequency that helps quiet things down within your body. It helps out with meditation. Also, within massage work, you might see a massage therapist bring out tuning forks. These help the body actually vibrate at a certain level to help bring you back from having the painful conditions. And these are a lot nicer at times for people that have significant scar tissue work that needs to be done that quite isn't working well with my hands being on them. It's a little bit too painful. This helps to kind of balance it out a little bit. But we also have external devices. This here is actually called a Solex AO scanner. It actually will help scan your entire body, and it looks for frequencies. Now, this is basically not a medical device. It's just to give you a better understanding about how your body is functioning. People that are constantly in the doctor's office and they have things going on that their doctor doesn't know what's going on, sometimes this helps to figure out, well, what might the doctor want to look at? So where this isn't only used solely, it's a great way of utilizing frequencies. It can also balance out your frequencies because there's different apps on here where you can actually play them to help balance you out. There's some on here that I'm not sure if I quite trust entirely. I like going back to the Western medicine because it has one for rabies on here. I probably would rather get the shot and, see if that will balance me out for the shot, but definitely it can be used for other less life-threatening sort of issues. Now, the last product that I have up here is LifeWave. LifeWave, they're actually patches that have crystals within them, and they're wearable patches. And you just basically apply one every 12 hours. And for these patches, they actually have crystals in them that will vibrate. And these crystals are going to help get your stem cells to start regenerating naturally. There's no drugs, there's no chemicals. So this is probably the safest way of actually taking care of your body and utilizing quantum physics. Even if you don't understand it entirely, it still can balance you back out. Now, there's other products along the entire LifeWave line. There are some things that will help out with widespread inflammation. There's other things that just help out with specific pain-related issues. So these products are usually really helpful, and that's the only reason I usually talk to people about these products. Now, these are a few different things you can check out as far as for some of the different slides that I had up. Now, Tatiana, she is a really interesting physics instructor. She actually goes and teaches kids about how amazing physics is. And that's why I'd put her up there so that you could actually go and check her out. Also, Galloping Gertie is super important to check out too, so you can see how frequencies can actually warp even steel. And then Jen Sincero, I had mentioned her, the author. And also, if you wanted more information on frequency work, you can try these two sites out. They can give you a little bit more information about frequencies. So my question to you is, how can you change your frequency? Any questions?
Obviously, my job focuses on frequency, and that's actually what I really love about what I do, because I like music, and this is all frequency. But it's great that you show everybody how it really spans through everything that we do. And just to give an example on health and frequencies, and you guys probably remember a few years back where we had some Americans in Cuba, and they blasted them with some kind of a sound device and made them all ill, and it was really very detrimental. They came back and went into intensive care. So, frequencies in your health, we don't really relate those together, but they very much so relate to each other.
Yes, and you're very right, James, as far as, frequencies relating to health, especially with that story about the Native Americans, or Americans that went to Cuba. So definitely we should be looking at a lot of stuff within our life. The reason why I brought up James when we first started is because he actually deals a lot with speakers and making sure that the frequencies will balance out so that your brain isn't trying to figure out where it's going wrong. And after a while, that's even going to start causing detriment to your body. The lighting systems can cause detriment to your body. Sounds. If you've got constant chronic sound in your background, even if you think about the person that's using vibration to dig up the street, those vibrations actually impact the body considerably over time. So there's a lot of things out there that we don't consider being detrimental. Your motorcycle, the vibrations from it. Yep, it can shake things around a little bit. And how can that affect you later on? Sometimes we have to practice getting on the motorcycle on the wrong side. And little things like that help us balance out. Any other questions?
I like to share frequencies. I use frequencies and understand frequencies as a DJ because I notice when I bring a subwoofer out, which gives you more bass, people are sitting there and they feel it. They feel it in their chest, so that a lot of times, that's why I always use, I got music to get you out your seat on your feet.
Yeah.
They jump up because they feel that vibration. If I don't use the subwoofer sometimes, it takes a longer time for me to kind of get everybody engaged, so I understand frequency.
Yeah, and for your job as a DJ, feeling the music versus just hearing it, it does lend a little bit more to your work.
Sure.
Any other questions?
So how does
Yes.
the tuning fork work again? So if you have it in your spot, you just place it on
Well,
that spot, or?
basically it vibrates, and what your body is trying to do is imitate the vibration coming from here. So it will start being synchronized to this vibration. There was a film about a metronome, and a bunch of metronomes were set up at different speeds to start off with, and they all slowly synced to one time. And it's going to be the same thing with the tuning forks, trying to get your body to sync up to the vibration coming out of here. And as your body vibrates, it's almost like Gertie. When Gertie was vibrating, she took it a little bit too far. So it's going to help break down those tissues, get them to start moving again. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
So you place it on the body then, right? So
Yes.
the body can try to
Yep,
match it.
to match it, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I'm interested in the crystals, how much do they cost, and someone with severe arthritis, does it work on them, kind of?
It varies from person's body to person's body. I've run into one individual that certain products did not work for her. So it's like I can't guarantee that they work for every single person. However, they will actually reimburse you. If it doesn't work for you, they will give you your money back. So it's definitely a good thing. Definitely we'll get together afterwards and we'll talk to you a little bit about prices and everything on them. But it's a lot more affordable than getting the stem cell injections. Stem cell injections are usually not covered by insurance companies. So you have to come up with anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 for something that might fail because it's somebody else's stem cells, where this is not even going to come close to even the $5,000 mark. And because it's regenerating your own stem cells, you don't have to worry about a failure rate.
Okay, guys, we got about time for one more question.
Anybody else? Yes?
Sandwich. See, I gotta eat a sandwich right now. My frequency is at the low until I eat one.
I do not have any sandwiches with me. However, you can ask him if you can steal one of the cupcakes back there. That might bring your blood sugar up a little bit so that you hit a better vibration level. All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, let's give it up for Bill.